What you want to do, hit the casino? Or you want to hit the mall? Is the mall still open?
No.
Hello and welcome to Lawd Lukan. It's time to find the method in the madness as we ponder another episode of Love After Lockup. We find out why wild child of the Pentecost Julien got arrested the other day.
Dun dun dun.
Oh my God.
The inmate that a Shonta bought seems to be a little bit faulty.
He ain't just gone.
Christine is ready to order.
Get that raw dog.
And Amy is about to get the answer to the question we've all been waiting for.
I'm about to find out if Troy does have a small or not. So I added.
Good day, hola, and Vorden Gorday. And thank you for joining us. Big love to the beautiful people who have subscribed, and a Spillers and Baker Pinot Biscuit to the members of the Lukan Manor. Also a big welcome to the newest member of the Lukan Manor, Lady Jacobson. The unexpected, my dear viewer, is the theme for today. Some unexpected things come from behind. Some unexpected things come from right in front of you. But whatever the case, you've got to make sure you roll with the punches. First in the chamber is Amy and little Troy. And today we get to meet the man himself. Now, I've been wrong about something, and I think I should talk about it. Up to now, I would have described Amy as slightly warmer than Frosty the Snowman's cold bits.
You're finally home. Yes. You're excited.
So real.
But I now see why. She's in parent mode. There she is, seeing her man after all those years. But to me, still felt a bit austere, a bit frigid. In fact, the last thing that I saw that was this cold had a Smeg logo slapped on it.
I'm overly excited.
Are you sure? Do you want to be here? If you two don't play nicely, I'll turn this episode around, mister. But actually, she's just being low-key in front of her parents. So we've got Amy and little Troy parent style.
Look at you two. Aww.
Pretty innocent, a bit naive, and, actually a little bit cringy. Vomit. But then you can tell that mum and dad have gone, because Amy starts to light up, and we see the childish sweetness and vulnerability starting to show itself. All she needs a little touch on her chin, and she's brighter than a Syracuse sun.
It don't feel like it don't feel
now?
real.
Look at her break character. That's quite sweet, really. So anyway, mum and dad leave. And Amy suddenly releases her shy girly girl laugh. See, she was all stoic and composed in front of the parents, but as soon as she can be herself, she unleashes the full crush laugh. What's a crush laugh? Well, it's one of these. Also known as the crutch laugh, but it's that giggly laugh that you get when someone reduces you to a babbling teenager. That warm laugh that you can't control, coupled with that smile that all your friends would recognize.
Get by ourselves so I can have my time with you.
Yeah, lucky girl. Oh well, I guess it only takes 4 minutes to cook a mini hot dog, so, that'll free up the afternoon nicely. And she sounds thrilled at the prospect of taking his schnauzer for a stroll.
I just want to take my time with my wife.
Yeah.
But then there's a little thing that she does that might suggest there's a skeleton in the wardrobe and it hasn't moved out yet.
You deserve it, babe.
Did you see that? She was all warm and humbled by his gratitude until he said she deserved it. Then the face totally drops. Now she's a woman of conscience, a woman who possibly believes in karmic retribution. So when she looked like she couldn't accept the idea that she deserved it, I'm guessing she might be able to think of a pretty good reason why she doesn't. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kia, nice. Well, it's good to set that bar nice and low, seeing as that will probably be the only R that his family compact will be giving her today. Then I know, we've managed to get through a whole Amy and Pee-wee section, and I haven't done a dancing Henry bit. Well, maybe next time. And with that, it's off to Henry's dancing bit. And with that, it's off to see what's happening with the Shter and Drew. And in the last episode, Drew had left the Shonta wondering where she went wrong.
We had sex, we talked.
Oh, well, yep, that'll do it. I'm not being horrible. I just find her a little bit, Dalai Lama-y. But I think Drew's got post-coital guilt. And he's gone to have breakfast with his sister. But maybe he's just getting a Shonta a nice Mackie D breakfast. Maybe it's all just a big misunderstanding.
Has been forwarded to an automated...
Yeah, okay, well, anyway, he and his sister have gone out to get some breakfast, and Drew is appreciating the change in menu.
I'm enjoying that I get to eat whatever I want to eat.
Oh yes, in the outside world, the food industry actually tries to please its customers, rather than slowly erode their will to live with it. If they suck, you get to voice your opinion on TripAdvisor. I think there should be a TripAdvisor for inmates that do Lalu that's called TrickAdvisor. I think Drew's review for a Shonta might go something like this. 5 out of 5 for scammability, 3 out of 5 for local amenities, but overall a 1 out of 5, slightly less interesting than food. How do we know? Well, here's him talking about his bedroom bench press with Shonta.
Last night, me and Shonta, we had sex.
Overjoyed, obviously. So, here's his boudoir breakdancing with Shonta face, and here's his food face. And it seems that Drew's been on that math again, because he's working those numbers.
We probably went for like 3 hours.
Hang on a second, let's remind ourselves of the last time Drew got his abacus out.
I had sex with probably like a good 22.
Okay, so if we take this little mathematic gymnastics, and 6 is actually 22, then the actual number is roughly a quarter of the one that he gives. So, in true maths, 3 hours is actually 48.6 minutes, and that's not bad for someone who hasn't been near a vagina in years. But I think Drew might be a bit oblivious to the irony here.
I don't expect her to be talking to me with an attitude. I just think she needs to change some of her ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the guy whose attitude towards the person who's been babysitting him for years is ignore them. Yeah, nice. I'm seeing a few of the opinions on this next part.
What you want to do, hit the casino? Or you want to hit the mall? Is the mall still open?
No.
I've seen people defend Drew because Shonta seems a bit snappy. But you know what I see? I see a stressed parent whose kids won't stop asking to go to the ice cream store. Yes, she was a bit snappy, but she's under stress from all this pretending not to be broke. And all he wants to do is go to all the candy stores and have all the cake. That seems to be under the impression that he's bagged himself a sugar mama. But this sugar mama is running on reserves and would be happier fading into the background somewhere and avoiding eye contact. They're actually still together now, but it all seems very staged and emotionless. Maybe she's shy. Maybe we'll find out when her and Drew launch their YouTube channel. It'll just be Drew flexing his stuff women bought him, and I think he'll do the OG Cam thing of actually having a normal job but pretending all his money comes from the streets. Now, my beautiful viewer, it's time for another Lalu star. I use that term very loosely to demonstrate how inept they are at criminal stuff, as we head over to see Julien and Christine. And there's trouble in Julien's gang.
Dun dun dun.
Oh my God.
Yes, indeed. Of all the people we've met this season, Julien is the one to put on the old iron bracelets. See? Told you about those high sideburns. I think Julien now holds the record for the most tragic criminal attempt. But does it beat Drew? Drew, of course, failed to rob a KFC, ran past his getaway car and got tased 2 blocks later, which is pretty stupid. But what about Julien? Does he have the credible rights to the crown of crappy criminality? Well, here's the story. On their way to see Christine's kids, she and Julien decided to stop at Walmart to get some gifts. They both bagged a bunch of stuff and left the store pretending to have a receipt. Julien was then approached by the police and decided to put those hours of playing GTA to the test and ran for it. That's right, Julien, who admitted to being picked last for sports, thought his best chance was to run for it. Now, the world outside the US has a kind of stereotype when it comes to US police people. We kind of imagine them to be, a bit robust, shall we say. So the idea of one of them being outrun by an athlete such as Julien isn't too much of a stretch of the imagination. But run he did. And oh no, the thing that every criminal hates when being pursued by the police. Not a fence, not a dog, not one of those spiky strips. Granted, Julien isn't a car. No, it was none of those. It was a patch of grass. I know. Can you believe it? He would have gotten away if it wasn't for that pesky, nice, flat piece of grass. Maybe it was a wonky piece of grass. Well, there's only one way to find out. Here is the Walmart in Vienna, West Virginia. So my guess is that it was this patch of grass here, seeing as it's closer to the exit, which means he managed to run a whole 87 feet or 0.01 miles. If he was running at an average speed of about 14 miles an hour, he would have made that distance and therefore been on the run for a whole 3 seconds. Good job. After arresting him, they then picked up Christine at the local PetSmart, a whopping 800 feet away, where she said she'd ditched all her goodies. She had a card game and socks valuing $63, and he had unknown stuff worth $546. According to Stargasm, Christine was let off because it was her first shoplifting offence. Apparently robbing a bunch of banks doesn't make any difference to that. Julien got charged with shoplifting and attempting to flee, got a $422 fine, and had to pay Walmart more than $1,000. So, my little sugar plum, who did it worse? Drew and running past the getaway car, or Julien and falling over grass? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, and were you also wondering about his t-shirt? Staves Acre. Looks a bit sort of rocky, bit alternative. Kind of. It's a Christian rock band who sound like a mix of Henry Rollins and most late 90s bands like Deftones. Take in this delightful track from their repertoire, Threshold. Barely listenable.
It's a mix of like bull and heartbreak and tragedy kind of all mixed together.
Anyway, back to Christine, and I've enabled Wobble Vision to keep her head still.
He's amazing at, going downtown, baby. He's so good at that. Like, oh my God.
Okay, double vomit there. One from the room spinning and one for the words. But unfortunately, the only downtown he was visiting was the Vienna Police Department. And there's only one thing more horrifying than the idea of these two rearranging their headboard.
I have no plans to use protection. I know she doesn't either.
Yes, you hear it right. The 46-year-old man and the 36-year-old recovering drug addict think it would be a genius idea to begin repopulating West Virginia. West Virginia! Don't worry about those, 3 kids she's already got and claims she wants to see. They're like old news. She wants a brand new one with the new baby smell.
Condoms, we don't use that. Come on, that's some kid right there. I want it raw, baby.
Quite literally kid shit. Kid making shit. And I'm not sure if that was a wink or a nervous twitch. But Julien better be ready to put all the cash in the bag and not do anything funny, because this is a woman with needs.
Get that raw dog.
Be very afraid.
And with that, we're off to see if Kim and Joey are doing anything worth talking about.
S'mores, this is so sweet.
Nope. Let's see what Latisha is up to today. Maybe she'll do something fun.
My booty facial.
Okay, if a facial is a facial because it's in your, facial area, a booty facial should be a facial done with a booty. Surely. But no, bum facials, or fanny facials, that translates very badly into England land, are actually a thing. And it's just face stuff. Done to your bum stuff. Apparently, it's good for bum acne. There you go. Anyway, bum acne Latisha was boring, so we took the night train to see Hope and Arthur. And as one delightful viewer pointed out, the name Hope is a bit like false advertising. Also a bit of false advertising, this director's chair with the name Lap XXXY. And this selection of background and cheap lighting equipment that they're trying to keep out of frame. And what is a lapsxy, I hear you ask? Well, all I know that the suffix XXXY is usually found in those sites for those with a playful disposition. I'm guessing it'll be the site that rhymes with lonely pans. But that's all just speculation. So let's delete our internet history and slink shamefully back to a Shter and Drew. And after his gallivanting off with his sister, who gave him a bunch of moody gold from Etsy, yeah, okay, well, it might not have been. But usually expensive jewelry comes in boxes, not pockets. Oh, and, nice jewelry doesn't make this noise when you put it down. It makes this noise. And there's one more thing I might need to fix about him. There you go. He seemed to have put it on a bit wonky, so I've taken the liberty of sorting it out for him. You're welcome. So then, True, because he's so brave and G, cowers away from owning his behaviour and being more manly about it, and instead tries to make out that she's the unreasonable one, for expecting him to be in any way as loyal as he'd be pretending to be.
What's up, you mad at me or something? What's up?
I do wonder how long he'll hold up this pretense before he admits he's too pretentious and superficial to be with her.
If she don't work, that's on you.
And rather than finish it reasonably and fairly, he'll just cheat until he's caught, then blame the breakdown of the relationship on her for not being what he wanted her to be. Chongi Changju? Sorry, one more time? No idea, something about noodles. So True joins in the conversation too.
Talk to me.
I think she did just sort of took, but I don't really have any clue what she said.
Are you having fun right now?
Come again?
Are you having fun right now?
But it's okay. True seems to understand what's going on.
Nah, tell out. You think my sister is covering up for me?
Yes. Okay.
Ah, I see. So, Shonta thinks True and his sister are in cahoots, and she is covering for his infidelity. But after proving that all was well that afternoon, Shonta has her fears allayed, and True is graceful in his perceived victory.
I'm too shy, like boring. No offense.
Yeah, none taken. Just got told I was shy and boring. What could possibly be offensive about that?
I don't know nobody you leave all day long.
Yeah, what she said. I know something about the bayou. Swimming, maybe?
I don't know nobody you leave all day long.
But I think she said, I don't know the bayou leave all day long. Okay, what does that mean? She doesn't know the all day long permission? That kind of makes sense. kind of, but luckily True ties it all together for us.
I'm not cheating on you. I'm not with a female.
What do you think? Is he going to be loyal? I'm not sure myself. And while we ponder this and other existential conundrums, we're off to see Kim and Joey. And this time we get to meet the man himself. And maybe it's just me, but there's something a little, distinctive about his walk. Yes, indeedy. Joey and his childbearing hips are now free and ready to meet the love of his life. But it's not all cinematic lens flares, Look, see, self-cut sideburns above the ear. But let's not judge that right away. Maybe Joey here is going to be the success story. Maybe he'll stay off the old party powder and start afresh.
And I'm just happy. I'm excited.
Oh dear, that's a bit of a nasty sniff you got there. Maybe a cold, from Colombia. Yeah, it'll be fine. Back now to Mostly Scowly and Arthur. And Mostly Scowly seems like one of those people who are generally a bit bitter about absolutely everything. Those sour, joyless people who are always the dramatic victim. I also get the juju's about her. A bit of a bitch with a single-minded approach to how people should be doing the best to please her. And anything else is met with stoic passive-aggressiveness. The argument she's found today to distract from the conversation about her cheating is about tattoos. They decided to get tattoos that signify each other. So she got his name.
Yeah, I did that for you.
And he, of course, was supposed to get something which reflected her.
My name or some type of tattoo, like a portrait or something about me.
Okay, not the most original idea, but I think the idea of getting something that symbolises your relationship is cool. Why not decorate your body with visual memories if you want to? But booking a tattoo in prison isn't as it is on the outside.
Yeah, I was, but it didn't work out like that.
Instead of a lovely portrait of Mostly Scowly, or even just her name, Arthur went for a rose, which he feels symbolises life. But that's not what she agreed to. So Mostly Scowly unpacks a fresh set of passive-aggressive sarcasm.
You got a tattoo that symbolizes life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she'd give him $300 to get the tattoo. So I can see why she'd be pissed that he didn't do what he said he'd do.
So I gave Arthur $300 to get a tattoo, which was supposed to be a portrait of me.
But beggars can't be choosers in jail. You've got to hope the portrait guy's got time at the same time as you. And have you seen some of the attempts at portraits that grace the internet? Not exactly a common skill. And you never know what a tattooist who thought this was a good idea might come up with next. Most lettering contains straight lines, which requires fine and precise work. But a rose is all nice and easy curved lines. And if it ends up not quite looking like the reference material, no one would really actually notice. So maybe she should be grateful he didn't end up with something like this.
And I got his name.
Well, if his name was Man, you would have done. This is like having the word babe tattooed on you. It could pertain to one person or any persons. It's non-personal. So why she's annoyed than it is Rose, I don't know. In her defense, he could have tried a bit harder with the symbolism. Life. Okay, well, nothing wrong with that. But because it was a rose, he could have said something like, it's our future together blooming. A bit vomity, or our love, like any masterpiece, takes time to blossom. Or the more you love roses, the more you must bear the thorns. But no, life. Just sort of life, generally. So the explanation did kind of suck. But maybe not so much as to make her storm out of the bed, slowly, and go whinging and pulling this face. And how much do you think I care about the fact she's all unhappy now? Another thing that's more or less than zero is the chemistry between Shonta and Drew. And I think the director has felt my pain. He's included some subtitles for Shonta.
You're making it seem like it's a big deal.
Can I see your police officer?
But this time she's got something to say. And it makes more sense than 99% of the dialogue on the show.
You can't even make the best decisions for you. What the are you doing for us?
And on that note, my petty fleur, we've reached the end of today's episode. I hope you've had a similar level of dubious pleasure as I have. There's only one thing left to do today, and that's our dose of wholesome. Today, it's about making a little man's day. And that, my dear friend, is all we got time for. Thank you so much for all the comments, likes and shares, and I hope you'll join me for the next one. So until we meet again, stay beautiful, love to my three, and you take care of yourself.
Please subscribe now for our play. Thank you.